Well, good morning guys, it's another day and we're here at the big dam. We'll wander down and see how the guys finished up yesterday. We got all the fill we needed for along the other fence line where Mem wants to put the bananas, and we ended up with a different shaped small dam, and that's how it's actually going to remain. So we'll have the big dam here and we'll have a secondary small dam which you can just see in view now. Overnight we did get some leaching of water from the big dam. The level has dropped about half a metre, but maybe not quite half, and there was a degree of water in the bottom here. This morning I put the solar pump pouring into here. We want to get the level of this dam up as quickly so it doesn't keep dropping the level of that one. So this is pouring in. That pump this morning has put a very big volume of water in there and is continuing to do so now. So all of this vindicates the setup of the solar pump as it ended up. Me wanting a 1500 watt and then fitting an 1100, which seemed fine, and this is just further proof of it. This pump is working extremely well and it's delivering good volume. It'll take a few days for this to fill this dam, but it's a big hole in the ground. Oh, we got a hole in the ground. Let's call it a dam and fill it with water. So as you can see, it's not perfectly rectangular, and what the heck. This all kind of verifies Talani's way of working. It has character. This is fine. She looked at this and said, no, it doesn't have to be perfectly logical and rectangular like a Western mind would want it to be. This will do. It's different. It's me. So this is where the excavator was working in the end, but that's roughly leveled. That'll get sorted. They've re-established that bund there across, the walkway. These bunds are here as barriers against water in the wet season. They give us a raised area for walking on that's fine, dry or wet season, and they retain the water in each one of the fields during the rice season. So that's been re-established. The tractor did do some work down the corner re-establishing that bund, but where that entrance is down on the corner, we have an entrance with some bamboo and stuff across it. That was also quite low, so they put a few truckloads of fill in there, raised that up, and he spent some time sorting that and making it flat and re-establishing that bund there. And so that's all cool. But one of the important things that didn't get done is we need to put fill around where the pump is and the bore is. We need to put in a square or a fillet across that corner to raise that above the level of what the water line will be when the rice season is here. That setup working great. So that's all done and dusted. We'll just go over the other side and see where the fill went. Okay, I'm not quite over the other side just yet. I'm back near the house. We did get 3 or 4 truckloads of fill dropped in this corner near the house, near the carport. This area along the carport had been sort of sloping down into the dam. Each year we've put in a bit more fill to try and sort of flatten it out and extend it out. And this year was no different, but this time we got a good few truckloads put in here, and the tractor came and pushed it up as far as he could. The rest of it this morning I've been going through with a shovel, and I've been moving it further down where he couldn't get. We had some banana plants here. They grow so easy that Mem just told the tractor push them over because she's got other ideas. So he's widened that area that's all well and good. Yeah, so it's widened this area and it's raised this area up, which dropped away very quickly, so that's what we wanted. You can see the cutaway here. I've taken all this soil from here and I've put it further down to that next group of banana trees, and the ground was sloping quite low here too, just beyond them, so I put in a bit of fill there. I've still got quite a bit of work to do on that, but that'll get done. So let's continue. Let's head over the other side, and I'll do that right now. I'm still on my way over the other side and sidetracked again. If you looked in the most recent video, we had an issue, a devastating disease in the crop of flowers, which I cut back and then I burnt, and I told you that we were going to get it ploughed. Well, the man in the tractor that's been working with the other group, the excavator and so on, he came back this morning to finish off some work, and Tony got him to go through and rough plough this area. Last time you saw it, I had piles of cut plants which I was burning. Well, that's all done, and he's been through and he's ploughed this, and the next move will be Tony will come in here with the cultivator and she'll make rows for the next batch of flowers, and once she's got those, she will flood them with water and get those sort of settled. The water helps to settle those in the shape that she wants, and then more seedlings will come which will get put in here, so that will become the seedling crop. So number 3 in the cycle, because that one over there is number 2 but now becomes number 1, the main crop. Over the far side beyond that, there are seedlings that have been in about 3-4 weeks now. Those will continue to grow, and now it's time to put in fresh seedlings in here, so that's where we're at with that. Now we'll just head over to this fence line. I'll keep the filming going on, it's not that far. So yeah, lots of things going on the farm. You know, we've got the lemon trees here, we've got patches of chilies and all sorts of things growing all over the place. There's more chilies here, lemon trees, small house and the veggie patch. Okay, so plenty of lemons happening. Limes. Ty's describe them as lemons if they use the English language word. So here we are. We're over on In Relationship. If you're a regular on my channel, you'll know that the niece's property is beside us, and Mem's brother's property is over there, over the road. So this is the road between him and his sister Tony. So here's the area, here's the fill. We ended up putting in more than initially intended. I think that we didn't realise how much fill we were going to get out of the dam, and so Tony told him to keep going, and we went, rather than 1 tree line in, we went 2 in. The level of the land before was this, so that's half my body length. That's a metre. I'm standing beside that, and that's just above hip high. So a lot of fill, pretty solid sort of stuff. But that's in. That'll settle with the rains, that'll shrink down a bit. That's the way it is. There's probably a lot of air incorporated in at the moment, spaces and gaps. The tractor going backs and forwards across it, he struggled with it. I think maybe he hasn't been doing the tractor job for as long as some have, and he's still got some skills to learn. So he ended up going backwards and forwards a lot more times than maybe a more experienced guy would. So that actually helped to compact it down, but it also makes it like rock. So if we're going to cultivate it with anything beyond banana plants, we probably need him to come back in and plough it to break it up a bit, but the level will settle down as we head towards another wet season. It will settle down during that wet season. The rains and the water will push the soil down into all the gaps. So It's quite nice over here in shade of these trees. But yeah, that's another project that's been long term in the waiting. It's been mentioned a number of times by Talani, fleetingly. Well, it got to a point where she suddenly decided she had to have it occur. And it has, so that's all cool. That's no great drama. I hadn't expected it to sort of happen so soon. Not quite sure who's paying for it just yet, but I hope it's not me. Anyway, a few casualties. There's a lemon tree that got sort of dead, killed. Anyway, this corner was all down too, and that needed to be filled, but we didn't know how and when that was going to happen. It gets a bit dejected and left to its own seeing as we've got so much other things going on the farm. So maybe something will happen here. We'll see. Somebody get a bright idea of, oh, we can. Yes. Yada, yada, yada. So that's how it all ended up. I guess our next thing is we've got to straighten out of some of these fence posts along the line. When the road ends in and their grader went through, a few of those got knocked over and stood up roughly. But the guy yesterday, he's knocked over about 3 more, so we'll have to see what we do there to get that sorted and get the barbed wire back up on it. But all good. Moving ahead. It's all sort of value adding to what we have going here. You've seen the corn many times. It's beautiful. You've seen the mangoes. Oh, I love them. Look at them. Aren't they beautiful? Drop in sometime. You can have one. So all good, guys. Thanks for watching. Any comments, questions, suggestions? Always welcome. Join the conversation. Put something in the comments and let's see where the conversation goes. By all means, subscribe for those of you who haven't. And you'll get to see all the follow-up videos. And hopefully I can try and get some different subject material for you rather than just the farm and farming. But catch you later. Bye for now. That's pretty incredible. That's an 1100 watt pump.